China is deploying massive armies. An army of 1,600 online trolls. They're deploying an army of 40 incinerators. They're deploying an army of 100,000 ducks. You heard that right, folks. This is not a this is not a joke. These are real headlines. China is deploying its resources. Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet. So here we are on the Poke Times. All right? And I want you to see this headline. Exclusive. Chinese regime deploys 1,600 online trolls to suppress information on coronavirus. So China is mad, and I believe that it's been a huge source of censorship. In fact, I have my suspicions about the actions that Chinese trolls have been taking to censor people talking about the virus, especially online and on social media. And not just in China, but America too. You know, I've had my fair share of the Chinese regime coming to me, emailing me, trying to convince me that, you know, it's all, you know, China's a utopia, and you don't go to the death cube, and there are no quarantine death zones, you know, all of this good stuff, right? But it is simply not the case. We're going to look at these stories, okay? I'm just going to wrap this, like, when I heard these headlines, I figured, you know what? I'm just going to wrap it all up into one big, juicy story. The propaganda department in virus-stricken Hubei province has engaged over 16,000 censors to scrub the internet of sensitive information related to the coronavirus outbreak. You mean censoring the truth? Because that's what China seems to do. According to an internal document obtained by the Epoch Times, the internal report dated February 15th detailed the agency's efforts to ramp up censorship measures. It was drafted after a speech given by Chinese leader Xi Jinping via video link on February 10th to frontline responders to the coronavirus outbreak in Wuhan, the capital of Hubei where the virus first broke out. So I recently did a video about how Chinese people are calling out China, calling out the Communist Party, saying they're ready for a revolution. They're ready to overthrow communism in China and kind of have a free China, a constitutional China, and a true republic. Of course, the Chinese state would not want this, even though their failure to lead led to one of the biggest plagues the modern world has ever known. Probably far worse than what's said on the media, and certainly in higher numbers. So these revelations come as the Chinese regime tightens information controls over a worsening outbreak, as netizens have increasingly turned to the internet to vent their frustrations about the authorities' response, or document what's actually happening on the ground. The illness has seen a steadily growing official list of infections and deaths on a daily basis. Now, a lot of experts and commentators believe the actual numbers are far bigger, and honestly, I think so. So according to this leaked document, they released 1,600 trolls, known as the 50 Cent Army in China. And I believe that I've encountered these trolls before. You know, every time I talk about China, it seems like someone comes out of the woodwork online to tell me how wonderful China is, and to say, oh, it's not true. China's a utopia. I think I've had my run-ins with the 50 Cent Army, okay? So they've been working on mass censorship. They said their job was to timely dispel the online rumors. He means leaks and truth. And strike powerful blows online. This says everything wrong with communism. In a nutshell, they care more about censoring journalists and people online and just normal citizens than actually containing and stopping the virus. They're so incompetent. They were so busy trying to control everyone, they forgot that maybe they should have stopped this outbreak before it even happened. Just a thought. Just a little thought that maybe the communists are incompetent. But don't you understand? Real communism has never been tried. Yeah, no, this is real communism. This is what happens. Absolute and utter failure. So they've also hired professional internet commentators to post propaganda to counter negative public opinions. The whistleblower Li Wengleng, who died from the virus, warned everyone about this. He died. And now people have been asking for free speech and things need to change. It's outrageous. Now, China has deployed more than just a troll army. China deploys 40 incinerators to Wuhan amid fears of coronavirus death toll cover-up. Why would you need these incinerators? And this is on the dailystar.co.uk. Why would you need incinerators if you were reporting accurate numbers? No, I could understand. But you're building 40 new incinerators? That doesn't add up. The official death toll isn't that high. Now, I've seen leaked videos. I can't show you them. But I've seen leaked videos where people are literally just out on the street. They're deceased. The street is full. The sidewalks are full of bodies because they just can't burn them fast enough. The official numbers are only what's confirmed, and it can only be confirmed if the bodies are tested. However, as we know from leaks, many bodies are not tested, so the real numbers probably far higher. So this is a picture of a mobile disinfection unit, and it basically sprays poison everywhere. I don't know what they're disinfecting with. I do know that it's very, very, very toxic. So China has reportedly deployed 40 industrial incinerators. Industrial! Industrial! You know, I once knew a guy who had an industrial air conditioning unit, and no lie, it made his whole house cold in like 10 minutes. That thing was huge. Chinese media reports that the furnaces have been shipped to the city amid ongoing fears the death toll is being covered up. The NTD reports that the cabins are for the disposal of animal carcasses. One thing that is true, but I don't believe that that's the reason, is that the disinfecting units, and I didn't really cover this story, but the disinfection spray has killed a massive amount of wildlife and animals. Oh yeah, folks. Oh yeah. So I don't know what's in that stuff, but it can't be friendly to life. Wuhan has been at the center of the global epidemic, which has infected more than 75,000 people and killed more than 2,000. Those are just the numbers we know. Hard to believe. There are different theories about where this came from. So sources quoted in Chinese media raise questions over whether or not the incinerators are for the animals, or to be used to dispose of human remains. If I had to guess, it's both. Okay, it's absolutely both. Oh my god, okay, so it gets even weirder. You see these mobile devices here? And you see the smokestack up top? People believe that these may be mobile incinerators. Mobile incinerators! Dude, not even the worst despots and tyrannical leaders in history had anything close to a freaking mobile incinerator. Look at the smokestack. The mobile incinerators can reportedly destroy up to 5 tons of waste every single day and can burn its load in as little as 2 seconds. It's 20-foot standard container and has a volume of 30 cubic meters. It has the ability to crush solid waste, incinerate it, and then purify the smoke. Man, they're pulling out the big guns. However, experts believe that these are mobile incinerators for bodies. Now, in our final headline here, quite hilarious in my opinion, but also an example of biological warfare. You know, in these times with this outbreak, I can't possibly see how sending an army of 100,000 ducks could backfire. So, China sends army of 100,000 ducks to border to fight locust plague from Africa. So those of you who have been following the news, and 2020 has basically been a natural disaster. Like, these may be the end times. Okay, I don't mean that literally, I'm being hyperbolic, so don't freak out. But this has been one heck of a year. It's been really bad year. Honestly, for me personally, for the world, I think it's been a horrible year. But China's sending a duck, okay? So there's a locust plague. It started elsewhere. It was in Africa, and now it's come to China. So China is deploying a massive army of 100,000 ducks to stop the plague. And it's funny because you see the ducks marching here. Like, I don't know if this is real. It's honestly hilarious, but the locust plague has come to China. Yeah, so this is their army. The bizarre footage shows a legion of duck troops that have been deployed in China to fight a swarm of locusts head-on. The plague of locusts, which has wreaked havoc across East Africa, now reached China's Xinjiang border in the far west of the country, where it meets Pakistan and India. So Pakistan has declared a national emergency, blah, blah, blah. So this video was released by the state-run Chinese news. Propaganda, basically. CGTN. I believe they have a YouTube channel, if I'm not incorrect. I see a lot of propaganda there. Like, this probably isn't even real, because I don't know where China is getting their 100,000 ducks from. So maybe they're just saying that they're going to deploy these ducks to fight the locusts. I just find it really hilarious. They say these ducks are on a mission to seek, destroy, and eat locusts. So the brown birds, referred to as duck troops in Chinese media, have been used to tackle locusts before, and some say they are more effective than pesticides. Yeah, well, You know, I like the idea of using nature to combat nature, but you do realize that there is an outbreak of coronavirus, and if the virus mutates and is able to travel to ducks, what do you think is going to happen? Wang from Xinjiang previously told Global Times that one juvenile duck can manage, was that 4 meters per square inch? Per square mile? I'm not sure what that means. Of land by gorging on locusts. Maybe it's, square meters. So the locusts are also suitable for human consumption and supposedly tasty when battered with breadcrumbs and fried oil. China, please stop. This is what got us into this mess. Back to the troll story, which is the meatiest of the bunch, has the most details. As you well know, it's the Chinese Communist Party. They're silencing everybody. They're punishing people. They call it rumor mongering, and yet if you watch these videos and these leaks, you can literally see it with your own eyes. This is why I will never go to China, never support China, and always, always speak out against their corruption. So Joe Salveson, who commented on this post, says, "It sounds like the Chinese regime takes the rumor spreading problem more seriously than the virus spreading problem. So Chad Houston, and God bless Chad." And he says, "One day, those who have engaged in suppression and manipulation of the truth must stand accountable and answer for their crimes against humanity." But you know what, my friends? That's pretty much the story. I think Chad said it perfectly. China will have to answer for all of its crimes and all of its corruptions eventually. But for now, they deploy the online trolls, deploy the incinerators, and deploy the ducks. I guess we'll see how it all plays out. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? What do you think about China's tactical measures? I find it hilarious to an extent, of course. This is very serious. It's just interesting looking how the Communist Party handles all of it. I'm sorry, I can't. Just let me know what you think. As always, if you want to support the content, you can join me on Patreon or Subscribestar for as low as $1. Joining will give you access to a private Discord server. You can donate through Bitcoin, other crypto, or my donation page. The link is down below in the description. Sharing the video is also vastly appreciated. Let everybody know about the army of online trolls, the Duck Army. This is top tier stuff. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.